Welcome to Beyond Tradition. We are a podcast where we talk about the nitty-gritty of entrepreneurship, a lot of the uncomfortable topics that most people kind of brush over. We're diving in. This is Therese.
Hey.
Hi, I'm Shelby. Let's get started. So, How are you?
Good. Things are good.
That's
Busy
it?
as always. Yeah, that's it. That is it. All right. Things are good. That's all that matters right now.
I'm fine.
Yeah, I'm fine. I'm fine.
I'm fine.
Things are going well. Everything's kind of just cruising along, honestly. So
Yeah.
it's been relaxing, I guess.
Relaxing is a good word.
Peaceful?
Yeah.
Peaceful is a good word too.
Nice.
Yeah. What about you?
Love
How's
that
everything?
for you.
Yeah.
Well, let's see. Just spent peaceful. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, peaceful. Same. No.
Uh,
Still trudging through projects, still dealing
Yep.
with a few pivots within the
I love
company.
pivots.
We're pivoting a
me.
little bit just to
Love pivots.
take care of our new construction team and make sure they stay busy. A lot of executive decisions had to be made over the weekend, but
Oh no.
we're good.
All right, good.
Outside of that,
Excellent.
turned out better than expected. So,
That's always a plus.
yeah.
It's always a plus.
Do you want to talk about the peaceful?
Yeah, we want to talk about the peaceful.
Right?
Yes.
Yeah,
All right.
that was awesome.
So we went
Us.
on a yoga retreat with
Yeah.
9 women. There were 7 other women.
7 other
Up
women.
in
Cherry Log, Georgia.
Cherry Log, Georgia. Okay, yeah.
Was beautiful.
It was
technically
beautiful.
Blue Ridge Mountains.
That's what I
right?
was stumbling on. I
Yes.
know I was like the mountains, but
Mhm.
I'm sure someone will be like, "What? Which mountain?" I'd be like, "I don't know, in Georgia."
Yeah. What was it? Greenpeace Chalet. Like shout out
Yes.
to them.
Yeah.
Green Peaks, I think.
Okay. I don't know. I don't remember.
Well, shoot. Now we need to Google it, but
That's fine. We will find it, and
Greenpeace-
we'll
yeah,
attach
we'll
it below.
link them.
We'll link it below.
Brand new mountain.
Gorgeous.
Really well done.
I love when they pitched it. It was, come to the cabin,
Uh-huh.
and then you get to the cabin. It's not a cabin.
That
It's
was
a gorgeous
home.
home.
I don't even know how
on
many
the side.
bedrooms. Was it 4 or 5 bedrooms? At least.
I think it was
looked them-
5.
Yeah, I looked them up on Airbnb
Yeah.
recently and actually referred them to a friend who wants to get married in the mountains.
Oh, fun! That would be such a great honeymoon spot.
Literally.
Or just
yeah.
you could have an after
She
party
wants
there.
to have her wedding
On the side of a mountain.
with it in the backgrounds. And
Oh, I mean that would be perfect. That deck, and then they had
Literally.
the yard out back
I
too. So I
know.
mean, yeah, that'd be a beautiful spot.
Yeah. I went into the retreat with a few reservations just because I didn't know the women, and
Yeah, of
being
course,
in
me too.
being in a cabin with 9 women was like
It's like a reality. It's like a reality TV show.
100%. Yeah.
Yeah.
But was actually just shocked, amazed, happy with how everything went, because I feel like everyone was open. We're all on like a similar path.
Yeah, I think everybody was there to unplug and to
Mhm.
reconnect
Yeah.
with themselves and with nature, and just to step away from the chaos of daily
For
life.
Sure.
I think we all got that.
100%
Yeah.
worth it.
Yes.
Recommend it.
Yeah, if you can. I can't wait for the next one, honestly.
Right.
But
And shout out to Jackie, JP
Yeah.
Yoga.
yep, JP Yoga Miami.
Mm-hmm.
Look her up. She's amazing.
Wonderful. So
Yep.
sweet. And came out of that. I think the best part of it was the lack of expectation. So there was time for us to say, or there was space for us to say no.
Yeah,
And
which
I
was
did.
wonderful, honestly. Yeah. I did not. I did all the yoga.
You did all the yoga,
All the
3
yoga.
times a day, plus a hike.
Oh,
Plus,
I haven't done yoga since because my body's still sore, but we'll take it.
We need to go back. I was going to
Yeah.
actually tell you we need to go this weekend.
Yeah, I'm down,
Matter of
actually. That
fact.
sounds wonderful.
Yeah. So came out of that. I think the funniest story was my hopping in the hot tub with my iced coffee was that Saturday at 9.
Yeah.
And Jackie came and was like, "Hey, it's time for yoga. Are you coming?" And I was just like, no.
You're like, excuse. I'm like,
No.
what are we doing?
No.
Like, this is what I'm doing.
And I almost had 2 other people in the hot tub with me instead of.
Yeah, and then they all came to yoga.
then they
Yes,
came
we
to
all
yoga.
bailed on you, and we're like,
That's
we're
fine.
going to yoga.
That's
I'm
fine.
sorry.
Lone Ranger over here. I'm
Right,
fine
that's
with
fine.
it. Always
Yeah.
fine with it. It was so perfect to have that like quiet time.
For sure.
In the hot tub, facing the mountains, have a beautiful picture. We can share it.
We can share pictures for sure.
On the Instagram.
Mine is like snuggled up under a blanket on the couch because I was cold.
That's true. Always cold.
Always
Guess
cold.
who never got cold one time?
It was
Shelby
cold.
Lofton.
No. It was chilly in the mornings and in the evenings.
Yeah, I loved it.
Yeah, it was a nice break from 100 degrees.
Yeah, and the lack of humidity.
Yeah,
oh,
like breathe.
Wonderful.
You know?
Yeah. Still got a little hot at times, but
Yeah.
I mean, it did get in the 80s, and I think that was surprising to me because, of course, you think mountains, you think cold, and
80
Cherry
is cold. 80 is cold.
Shut up.
Okay, get out of here.
But yeah, low of 60s, high of 80s in September, and the leaves were just starting to change.
Yeah, that was really cool to see for
and
sure.
The clear rivers, that was gorgeous, and we got to ride horses.
We did. We did.
I had Tank.
Yep.
And I actually just had to have somebody talk me out of getting a horse.
Oh my gosh, seriously?
Seriously, because I
You
was
do
like,
not need a horse.
I don't need a horse.
You don't need a horse. We can go horseback riding here. There's plenty of places, outies. That counted. I'm counting that as a hit.
Damn it.
Yep. You're just tuning in. This is your first episode. We tend to hit these mics. And so there's a tally. There's a tally. So I'm counting that as one for today.
Sorry for the finger pops.
You're fine.
Yeah, Tank. I loved Tank. I have not ridden a horse in decades at this point. And so, yeah, I was like, I want one. I actually don't want full responsibility of a horse. So that's why I said, like, can I find someone to go
Honestly,
in?
you could probably just, if you pay for it, somebody will somebody will house it.
That's what I'm saying.
If you pay for food and all the maintenance, I'm calling it like a car. Yeah, it's maintenance.
Literally.
Horses are expensive.
They're very expensive, and they're good for riding and other fun things. And I love them. I've always loved them. And I miss riding. And I think that was the big thing I took out of that too was
I'd go again. I mean, I haven't been in a long time, but it was fun.
Cracked me up on that horse.
What? My horse was my spirit animal. Okay. His name's Bogey.
Yeah.
And he was one of the older ones there, and he gave 0 fucks.
I know. And you were not about to direct him either.
I wasn't directing him. I mean, he was the only horse that had a crop attached to him because they're like, "Yo, just just hit him so he gets going." I'm like, I am not. I'm not going to do that. He wanted to stop and eat. We stopped and ate. And I mean, we always caught up.
You did.
He was great.
You did. Tank did put me into a fence post and I had a bruise after that.
Yeah. No, Bogey was chill, man.
Yeah. Yeah. And we can link them too, because if I remember right, they are woman owned and operated there.
Yeah. Cowgirl Up. Cowgirl Up.
Stables?
Stables. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
They were great.
Yeah. It was really, really fun. Really fun time.
Yes.
Anything else?
Not really.
No.
Besides hiking. We went hiking.
We did a 5-mile hike.
Yeah, that was
up and down. Up and down.
Yeah. Yeah.
I forget how long that took.
I don't remember, honestly. I think it was short. I think I was pleasantly surprised how short it took all of us.
Fair point.
But it was.
I was shocked I made it through, to be honest.
Me too. I was trying to find the right way to say that. I was like, I'm shocked I made it back down the mountain because it was.
I was in the front.
I was not. I was the rear as always. Okay.
Listen, I don't know how, and I held a conversation with Paulina the whole time. So
that was great.
Yeah.
No, we no. Jackie and I were in the back and we were just like cruising. She was taking care of business. I'm like,
nice.
Dude. So I could be like, look at nature.
Yeah. Listen, I can't. Okay, we're hiking. I am too focused on making sure I don't stumble and fall. To look around.
Yes. That's how I felt. I felt like I missed everything because I was trying not to roll my ankle or fall because I fell.
I forgot. How's your butt?
I did fall. I am fine now. My butt is no longer bruised.
Wonderful.
The rock that jammed me. But I slipped and I fell and I ended up throwing my water bottle. I almost nailed Shelby with it. It was something.
That was the first hike. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Oh man. Yeah, but definitely came out of it sore, but happy. My God, needing a personal. I'm not going to say a personal chef.
Oh, I need a personal chef, Paulina. Paulina has my heart.
God, just really like healthy food. We didn't have to think about what was for breakfast.
Wonderful. Yes, it was great. For sure.
Dinners were wonderful. So
yeah.
10 out of 10. Recommend yoga retreat it was nice to like, and I almost think that's part of the reason why when I came back, I wasn't in zombie mode. So it wasn't like I was super depressive, but I think I was just so relaxed that I was like, I'm good. Like,
yeah, it took me about 2 days to get back into like work mode, like
Yes.
hustle mode, where I was just
And then-
like, so
yeah.
this is like what peace really feels like. Because
almost
it
feel like
was
my nervous system
Yeah.
went.
Yeah, exactly.
Now
like
making
no
it-
stress, no anxiety, like nothing, like not worrying about anything.
Yeah.
And so
Except for the Atlanta airport. That was horrendous.
yes, I made a vow a long time ago. I was never going to go back to Atlanta airport, and I forgot.
Yeah.
I always forget. I'm just like, oh, it can't be as bad as I remember. And I'm like,
it
no,
always is.
it's just like LaGuardia. It's like, no, there's 2 airports. There's no reason. Chattanooga. When we go back to the mountains, we'll go to Chattanooga. It's the same drive, you know,
Yeah.
to get to the cabin.
Oh my gosh.
And so, yeah,
horrendous.
no.
So, well, that was
Yeah,
a
that's
little
life right now.
Yeah. That's life. We're
That's
back.
life.
We're
We're back.
working.
All right.
Literally, like I'm still dealing with picking out tile, but we should have a roof today.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
All right. Let's talk about that next episode. I want to hear all about
Oh, yay.
the home renovation.
Hopefully we get windows installed soon.
Yes.
Hopefully. But I'm trying to plan my master primary suite. It's primary suite now. So my primary bathroom.
Why did it change names for? I don't want to know.
You don't
Let's
wanna
get
know.
into
Let's
this.
not get into
Let's
that.
get into this, and then
But-
we're gonna circle back.
Yeah.
All right, next episode. Why
We'll
they
talk-
change the names of things. It's a master bathroom.
Yeah.
Primary suite. I
It's
guess
primary.
actually it makes sense though, because there are multiple suites. People are
Yeah.
building
right.
multiple master bedrooms in houses nowadays
Exactly.
for like mothers or guests or whatever.
Exactly.
So
And I
that
was
makes
thinking
sense.
about that too. Like,
Fine,
technically, we have a
Let's take it.
primary, but then Cason's is the same. So, anyways, like
Yeah.
primary, secondary. That's just the real estate agent in me talking.
Yeah. All right.
sorry.
Fine.
We'll
We'll take it.
Okay, so if you haven't watched any of our previous episodes, we
You
do.
should.
Yeah,
You should first.
do it.
Do it.
We
Yeah.
encourage you to go back and start from the beginning, just because we're building on all of these
Yes.
like topics as we go.
Yeah.
I do want to do a little bit of exercise. That's a little bit of a surprise.
Oh no. All
Just
right.
for therapy reasons.
Fine,
This is therapist
fine.
suggested because we
All right.
both are awful about this.
Oh
This
no.
makes us very relatable.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Which of these many things?
So we have to talk about our accomplishments. So
no thanks. Not today.
Do it.
Not today. Today's not the day for that. Fine.
Because
Okay.
I don't think we've done that. And like,
I
you
think
know,
we touched on it once,
we
and we were
touched
both
it.
really uncomfortable the entire
exactly.
time.
We did a
So-
little like meep, but neither
Mhm.
one of us talked about our history in entrepreneurship in a way that talks about our successes, our accomplishments.
Because the accomplishment, like, yeah, I get it. The accomplishments are great, but it's like the grit to get you there
It
is
is.
more important, and the failures to make you stronger.
Right.
But all right, you get to go first.
You want me to go first?
Yeah, I sure
Okay.
do.
So Shelby Lofton Plumbing. Now I say entrepreneur because my goal is multiple income streams.
Mhm.
So I was in the corporate world. I worked at a small business for
Yeah.
8 years and had kind of random jobs before that. Moved here. We started Lofton Plumbing. I started Shelby Lofton LLC. I got my real estate license. My husband got his contractor's license. We moved here, no family, no friends, no sphere of influence, no circle.
Crazy, man.
Nothing.
Literally like packed up and moved across the country. It's
and
crazy.
so again, I do want to say like Trevor and I both come from nothing. So he grew up very poor. And towards our later like teenage years, our parents did better. So it wasn't
Yeah,
like we
yeah.
were worried about eating all the time. But yeah, definitely like it was later in our teenage years where my parents were very much like touching middle income.
Yeah.
Maybe that.
Okay.
No, we have I do have one entrepreneur in the family. That would be my aunt. But again, I never had a really close relationship with her to really talk about this stuff. So I just knew she had a business and she was
Yeah.
their HVAC. So we moved here, started those businesses. Had a little bit of a nest egg to get started. I think I said that too once.
Yeah.
But started from very, very little to running now a 7-figure business. And we did double year over year.
Excellent.
This is the first year that we're sustaining. And so building something like that was incredible. Now it's sustaining. And now we're trying to build and grow a little bit more.
Yeah.
I did with Shelby Lofton LLC as an agent. I got my butt kicked the first 2 years. And I remember
it's a hard market.
Yeah. When you don't know anybody. Everybody's like, work your sphere. I don't have a sphere.
Yeah.
I don't have family and friends here to call and like
being
start
a realtor,
my
you have
business.
to like decide when you're like 16 that you want to be a realtor here in Florida. If you want to be a realtor, you need to start like when you're 16 and just you need to start networking so everybody knows your name.
And that's exactly
100%.
I started networking. And my goal and what I had written down was I wanted to make 6 figures on my own, like without being tied to Trevor. That was just me and my, I don't know, call it ego, whatever, but it was a manifestation because I remember writing it down. I had it hung up, like, and I did that with real estate.
Excellent.
And I remember it was 2021. I had my first 6-figure commission. So
whoop, 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 whoop.
That was my third or fourth year.
And you're like, I don't want to do this ever again.
Literally.
You're like, I hit my goal. I'm done.
I did it, guys.
Like, this
I'm
is not
out.
for me.
And so,
I'm out of here. I love
that's...
hitting those types of goals. And you're like, I made it. And now I don't ever want to do this again.
Literally.
Because you either get that bug of like, oh yeah, I want to keep doing this. Or you get the bug of like,
I'm done.
Yeah. Like that one and done. Like that was great. I'm out. So
I did a little over 5 million that year. So I was like,
that's awesome. Hell yeah. Yeah.
And I was like, cool. Great. Yay. But that's not my, it's not my full-time thing anymore. Hasn't been for a while. I still love real estate. I still have my license.
Yeah.
I help whoever I can, whenever I can.
Yeah, that's great.
But again, like starting from zero, growing into these 7-figure businesses. And now trying to start a brand.
Yes.
I narrated the audiobook.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I was going to talk about that
next. A kid's book.
Yeah, I know. Too much stuff. Not too much.
Not too much.
It's enough.
But really the goal is passive income.
Yes.
And multiple streams of that coming in. So that's kind of been...
The children's book is going to be fun. I'm excited
for that. I'm
so
stoked for that.
I'm excited for that.
So stoked for that. So yeah, that's what accomplishments...
Those are amazing accomplishments.
I have to say this too. Lofton Plumbing has been recognized 3 years in a row as Bradenton's best.
When is that award ceremony?
Now it's in November.
Okay. We'll know soon enough.
But yeah, Bradenton's best year over year. Next door favorites. Best of SRQ.
Excellent.
And then
it's huge. Those are big accomplishments.
Now
they're huge accomplishments.
Small business of the year with the chamber, the Manatee Chamber. And this is our 6th year. So
okay, cool.
And I think surviving, everybody says like you die within the first 2 years, like the business fails within the 2 years, 5 years. And so now we're past that. I'm like, we're not going anywhere.
No. And I feel like the first 2 years just is building the client base. The next 3 years is maintaining a good reputation. And then once you do, except I think restaurants, I think we spoke on this once. Don't quote me, but I think restaurants take like 5 years to get like established.
Yeah.
Which that's its own beast in itself.
Right. Yeah, for sure. But so I am, this is very difficult, but I am very proud of myself for doing that. Obviously teamwork, because we wouldn't be good if my husband wasn't a badass plumber.
True. I mean, you'd learn how to do it.
Yeah, I would. I don't know.
Lame pipe
if I needed to. But
could you imagine?
No, I would be. What do they call them? Textbook contractor.
Like the book says to do it like this, so I'm gonna follow this diagram.
Right.
Yeah.
And now I joke, but it is crazy to think that like I say I girl bossed too close to the sun, like I girl bossed too hard.
Oh yeah, no, why?
No, because now like if you really think about it, it hits me randomly, but like I and my decision making are affecting like 10 other families.
Yes.
And it's like I am managing 7 figures.
Yeah. The managing
millions of dollars.
Yeah, the money managing never bothered me. It was making sure I could feed everybody that we employed, you know what I mean? Anybody that worked for me, that's where all of my concern always came through the most. Cause I'm just like, if I don't pull in enough projects, if we don't do this, if we don't do that.
like
And then, yeah, like that was more of the stress. Once you get to the certain point where like, money's coming in, you have enough jobs, like, like the cash flow is flowing.
Yes.
It's like this anxiety comes in next where you're just like, like, what am I going to do if this project,
what
like,
if this happens?
I remember, but okay, you finish. And
no.
Son of a gun, I hit it.
We're tied. Yeah, that's what it just hits me because my husband is very brilliant when it comes to plumbing and mechanical things. We call him like this mechanical genius because he can put engines back together.
That's amazing.
Rebuild vehicles. He can lay out pipe. It's like a puzzle, but he's just like bam, 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 bam. Looks great, is great. But
that's amazing.
But when it comes to finances,
we all have our strengths and weaknesses. Okay, so it's fine.
It's fine. And he's like, as long as money's in the bank, he's fine. Okay, cool. But I'm the one in the background, like,
oh yeah,
financials, decisions.
Oh yeah,
insurance.
Like,
know what I'm
can
saying?
we afford this? Yeah. Should we buy this new van?
Should
we do this? Should we get this excavator? Should we not? Yeah. Can we hire on 2 more people?
Projections.
So,
where are we gonna be? Like, how do we? Yeah,
it's my cup of tea. That's my favorite.
I know it's your favorite. I like it. I obviously would not change it now.
Yeah.
But it is. There are times where I'm like, how am I in charge of these things?
You can't think about it. You just have to do it. Yeah, I don't know.
You just do it like Nike says. Just do it.
Yeah, exactly. I don't. You can't go down that hole. You just have to keep going. I don't know.
Just keep swimming.
Exactly.
Just keep swimming.
Exactly.
That is my thing. Just keep swimming.
All right. I mean, it works.
Thanks, Dory.
Yeah.
Your turn.
All right. Okay. History of me. I think we've gone over this once before. Grew up surrounded by entrepreneurs.
Yeah.
And so,
I'll call you
uncles. Actually, all the men were entrepreneurs, you know what I mean, which is fine. I'm good with that. All in construction, different realms of construction. And so, I think just watching how they grew and how they took the leap and how they decided this is the lifestyle that they want, you know what I mean? And so I was like, all right, I want this too. And I think I know I lied. One of my younger cousins, she's an entrepreneur now. I'm really, really excited for her. So she owns her own jewelry. Like she refurbishes like vintage jewelry and stuff. I think I've worn them a couple times. I have these like tiny watches and they're from her.
I love that.
So but yeah, so grew up around it. So it's always kind of been there. Not really the game plan when I went to college. I was like, I want to work in advertising, marketing. I really wanted to work for Sour Patch Kids because their commercials are the best, or they used to be the best.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Back in the day. And I was like, and then when I was applying, I realized that back in the day, they were based in Texas. And I was like, well, that's a no.
No thanks.
I was just like, I'm going to Miami. And so, life changed that way. And so had a couple different, me and a friend doing, entrepreneurship stuff in college, just little businesses here and there. And
that's
then,
so cool, though.
Worked for still the accounting department for a modeling agency down in Miami. And so now Jackie and I actually run the entire agency. And so one accomplishment. So it's been like 17 years of doing that. But anyway, so back to local accomplishments, I owned an underground utility construction company for 5.5 years. Killed it. Like doubled every year. The final year, it was hot a couple years ago that people couldn't get equipment. So we decided to sell off everything and sell it. And now I'm doing consulting for contractors,
which
like business consulting. Yeah. So I help them on the operations side of their business. So like you said, like projections, helping them manage their cash flow. And then what I've really dived into is like employee management.
Yes.
Policies and procedures, and helping smaller contractors get their employees basically in line. You know what I mean? Like helping them so it's not so chaotic, because growth pains are real. You know, like once you hit about 7 employees, there's a growth pain. And then at 12 employees, there's a growth pain,
Yep.
you know, and so, and I know again, from experience, we started with 5 of us and then, at the old construction company. And then at one point there was 27 and
Yeah.
it was miserable.
Yeah.
So many crews, so much chaos, so much going on. It was all during COVID. So yeah, it
Oof.
was, yeah,
It was
thankfully
a time. It was a time.
it was a time. Exactly. So, so yeah, but the consulting is great. I really love it. I've helped dozens of contractors around town.
Yeah.
And so,
Including us.
yeah. And so now it's just, yeah, maintaining
Right.
relationships, which
Mhm.
is hard, but not hard when you meet the right client. You know what
Right.
I mean? Like when you connect with a client and they, you know, you can actually help them or
Yeah.
give them,
They're willing.
yeah, they're willing to listen to
Mhm.
different ideas, then
Yeah.
it's perfect.
Awesome.
And then, my gosh, the
Keep
list. The
going.
list. And then I have books. I
Uh-huh.
have The Power to Prosperity. It's kind of it teaches basic finance and then it goes over
Mhm.
like money mindset and
Mhm.
how to get yourself just to like wrap your head around how to manage your money and how to build wealth basically. As you
Mhm.
know, cuz you were the narrator for it.
Yes.
It's finally it's out. It's an
Audible.
Audible. There we go. Thank you for the wording.
Yeah.
Yes, you can listen to it
Let me
for
tell you.
people that don't want to read, which is so weird.
It
So I'm like,
was so I started listening to it
did
yesterday.
you?
Like hearing
I
myself.
didn't. I
I was
didn't
like,
listen to it yet. Oh my gosh, was it amazing?
oh no, I already picked myself apart.
Oh
The
no,
first like
why?
3 sentences because I'm like, nobody understands you like
Yeah,
that.
they do.
Oh
If they didn't, then it would be kicked back. You know, like
yeah.
the production house would have kicked it back, and they
Yeah.
would, or Amazon would. You know, Amazon.
Amazon is Amazon.
And
Yeah,
then
for sure.
so with The Power to Prosperity, I actually like so it's you know, like there's a lot of information,
Uh-huh.
but
Yeah.
there's no like a lot of books you read, a lot of entrepreneurship books or books to help you create wealth,
Yeah.
or they don't really give you like a plan.
Right.
You know, they kind of it's mostly entrepreneurships just or entrepreneurs talking about their journey, which
Right.
mine isn't like that.
Right.
Like not at all.
Not
It's
at
like
all.
it's more so like just fact out like
Yeah.
not facts, but like this you know, like
Uh-huh.
yeah. And so I wanted to create so the Unlock Wealth is a self-guided journal. And
Which is
so
wonderful.
yeah, it'll teach you how to budget, it'll teach you how to set goals, it'll
Mhm.
teach you how to talk to yourself properly.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
Mindset.
mindset like having like manifesting.
Mhm.
And so yeah, it's
Wonderful.
yeah. And then the second journal is
Yes.
called Unlock Fortune. I'm hopefully going to have that one out here in the next few months, but that one is going to help people basically like get over your fears and how
Uh-huh.
to work around that. And then discipline, because discipline
Is
is,
essential.
yeah, and it's so difficult. But
It is.
I read something, I don't remember, someone I'm sure will quote
Uh-huh.
me or jump down my throat about, but there
Right.
was I read something, it was like, if you dedicate 100 hours
Mhm.
to something within a year, that's 18 minutes a day,
Mhm.
18 minutes a day, it will literally like change the way you think, it'll change,
Mhm.
it becomes you at that
Right.
point.
Right.
So
That's so cool though.
yeah,
And
so
true. And
yeah,
true. It's
habits and
habits are real.
discipline, and yeah, it's just figuring it all out. So
Right.
yeah, so that's it. Those are my accomplishments. Let's move on.
Round of applause. Great
All
job.
right.
Great job. That's
Yeah.
that's our I would say background, but accomplishments.
Yeah.
Yay team.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yay team. I like
yay
that.
team. Now
Yay.
we're gonna move into
All right.
the real nitty gritty of this, and it's not gonna be a very long episode just because we are not tax advisors. We are not
No.
accountants.
No, but it's so important. You got to talk to a CPA.
Yes.
All right.
We
I
are
mean,
telling you,
yeah.
we are giving this information. You're going to get a brief kind of like explanation of these terms, but we are not telling you how to set up your business. We are not telling you how to do your taxes. You
No.
need to be doing that with your accountant or a tax advisor immediately. Like
Yes.
I will stress that importance as
if you are a business
business owner.
owner and you do not have a CPA that you're working with, I highly suggest
Immediately.
seek one out and don't go with the first person you find. Shop around,
Yeah.
find somebody that understands your business, find somebody that wants to help you grow your business, because at the end of the day,
Mhm.
I mean, you've just got slammed with the tax bill. I did my 3rd year.
And I hate it.
Yeah. And so it was one of those, you just kind of, when you're not expecting it because, like, yeah, I filed my taxes. Everything was great. But then.
Yeah. Like I did our taxes personally.
You did?
Yeah. For,
That's amazing.
Until 2019. So 2018, we really didn't have any business income. So I didn't worry about it. We just did personal. 2019, we had business income. And that's when I said,
Yeah.
I ain't doing this. So we have a CPA. We have had the CPA since we've started. He's been amazing. So that's what I'll say. What is the phrase? The only thing certain in this life is death and taxes.
Yeah, oh my gosh. Yeah, I guess so.
So that's what we're here to talk about.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Death and
recently-
taxes. We'll take it on. All right.
Death and taxes.
All right.
Death portion. We'll go real quick. But both you and I have recently set up a living trust, a will and testament,
Yeah.
durable power of attorney. You maybe not have, but I did because of marriage.
Yeah.
You still may look into that. You may talk to your attorney.
Yeah.
Because that directs your finances.
Yeah. I have somebody in place for that. I have a
Okay.
family member in place. So
They won't have any kind of ability to do anything unless they have that.
right.
Or they're named on your accounts or something.
Yeah, it's both.
Okay, good.
So
As long as you have that, cool.
yeah.
Not a beneficiary.
No.
Totally different.
Yeah.
And then healthcare directive
Yep. I have one of those
and
too.
surrogate.
Yep.
Yes. Very important things to set up. Obviously in your 20s, that's not something you're real focused on. But as you age, and I'll just give a real brief reason why it became a forefront project for us was because I had a recent health scare.
Yeah. You put it in perspective for me too. I was like, shit, I need to do this.
Shit, yeah.
Yeah.
Shit. Because it came out of nowhere.
Literally nowhere.
I'm 37 years old. Was 36 at the time.
Yeah.
Right. Lost my gallbladder due to gallstones, had pancreatitis, then had a rare complication from the gallbladder surgery, had a bile leak, had a stent placed.
Ugh.
Yeah. And the bile leak wasn't treated immediately. Shout out Lakewood Ranch Medical. You guys are awful.
Oh my God.
You almost killed me because you didn't believe me.
Oh
and
my
you didn't order
gosh.
the right tests until I had been in there dying for 2 days with bile leaking into my abdomen. I'm having a meeting with an attorney about that too. That being said, yeah, that was 2 weeks of my life spent in the hospital, and then all of that they found. I still call it a tumor or a mass, but it was cancer on my kidney.
Well, yeah, you told me it was like a cyst at first,
Same.
literally. You were just like, "Oh no, they found
Yeah.
like this like cyst on my kidney, so I'm gonna have to get that out." And I was like, "What? Okay." I was like,
Same.
"All right, cool."
Yeah, again,
And then
denial.
psych, joke, yeah,
Psych.
yeah,
Psych. I look in my pre-op or in my folder
Yeah.
in my at my pre-op with Sarasota Memorial, which they were wonderful, and their oncology unit is unreal. It's so beautiful in there.
yeah,
Brand new, and the team there was fantastic. But yeah, looked in pre-op day before my kidney surgery, and it's like, oh, that says I have kidney cancer. This is cancer, guys. And so they just
Yeah.
were determining how bad it was and if they
Yes.
could get it all out. My therapist said that probably saved me a lot of anxiety.
Yeah, honestly,
leading
it's
up to that.
honestly, it's probably better off because if you had it, then it'd be like you'd be worrying about like if you had to do chemo or radiation or all like
Instead,
the
I
next.
was like,
Yeah, sure, take
I'm
it.
getting it out. It is
Yeah.
what it is. Lost part of my kidney. Yeah. So that kind of came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
And I'm like, but then almost everyone that
I
I
think you
know,
scared the brakes off of all of us.
right.
And so we've all taken action to be like, okay,
Yes.
what if?
Yes.
Like, what if? We're at that age.
Yes.
Our late
So,
30s. We have a lot of what ifs.
Exactly.
We're halfway to the grave. We're halfway to death.
Ooh, I know. So, and then also the other part of that is like we talked about before, like we are building these things, and I don't want to do all of this work and have built all of this for it to go to probate or for Kason not to benefit. Kason's my
Yes.
son, our
I
son.
think a lot, even if it's a younger entrepreneur in your 20s,
Mhm.
any entrepreneur, I think this is one of those things that you should take into consideration because you're building this. And if you have a family, and even if you don't have a family,
Right.
you still don't want to leave it to your siblings or your mom, to
Yeah.
take care of if you, God forbid, pass away too
Right.
young. You know what I mean? Like you want to have all of this in place. So it's just like, here's this.
Yeah.
You take
Here's
it in
this,
and
here's
it's
this,
done.
Here's this.
So
Yeah.
it costs a little
God
bit of
forbid.
money, but if you're
Right.
making money, this is one of these things that
it's necessary.
I would recommend to at least look into it. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So if you don't feel
Well,
like it's right for you, and you know, death is something no one wants to talk about. You and I
it's,
have a
yeah,
weird,
neither one of us are really scared of it.
not at all.
Uh,
It is what it is. So
we're
that's
cool
why
with
we went
it.
on a yoga retreat
Right,
so we
right.
can live our best YOLO.
Right, exactly.
So
But yeah, it's
uh
definitely something that I advocate for, especially now, because God forbid you're incapacitated. Like, that's the other thing. What if you're
yeah.
in that hospital, you can't speak for yourself,
Yes.
and nobody around you knows what your wishes are? Nobody
Right.
knows.
Because you don't
Nobody.
talk about these
No.
things. You know what I mean? Even with your spouse.
Yeah, this
You
is the
know,
nitty
like
gritty.
it's
Like,
one of those things that you don't really chit chat about. Or if you do, that's great. You have way better communication than 99%
right.
of couples out there.
I know I have to
But
force the conversation
yeah.
with Trev, but essentially, like, he knows my wishes, and I had the conversation with my best friend, who's, if
Yeah.
we're both incapacitated, she takes over. So
Yeah.
everyone's aware, but basically, I advise them both. If I die, call our attorney because she's got everything you're gonna need. Like, here's her number. You need this
Yes,
contact,
exactly. Like this is
okay?
the only card you need. Save this, put a picture in your phone, email it to yourself.
Right,
You're like,
right. I'm gonna
yeah,
try. The hardest part about all this, though, is now that it's established, like getting everything
into
lined
it.
out.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. For
yeah.
sure.
Uh,
Mm-hmm.
and keeping track of all of where everything is, like life insurance policies, 401ks, IRAs, bank accounts. So I'm working on that list too. So much fun.
Yes.
So that's the death part of things.
Yeah, the death part of things. So
Definitely worth looking into.
look into it, you know, have benefit. If I know a lot of people that don't have beneficiaries on their accounts, and I'm just like, you should probably do that.
Mhm.
God forbid, because if
Immediately
not, it's going to be so hard for that person
to
to
access
claim
anything.
that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
And banks and any kind of financial institutions, they do not care.
oh no, we're just a number. Let's be
But
even the
like,
local, like the small banks that
yeah,
are like try to claim that it's like
yeah,
you're just another number. Don't kid
right.
yourself.
They do not care. So you
Yeah.
have to have this stuff
Mm-hmm.
lined out. Now, tax of all of this, taxes. I hate the IRS. I'm going to go on record right now. Soundbite that. I hate it.
That's so good.
Listen, so this is my like form of protest that I can handle. I pay into taxes on our W-2 every
Yeah.
month. Yes.
Mhm.
I'm a good little,
Of course, same.
good little toaster is what my
Yes.
son says. But also, we do our taxes. We file an extension. Like, my taxes for LP were done March.
Yeah.
Did I file it? No. They got an
Why?
extension. Because I'm not doing it. Like, you're not
Why?
getting my money. You're not getting my money
Yeah.
until October or September
That's
usually.
awesome. Yeah, no,
I know exactly what I'm going to have to pay, but I'm
Yeah.
filing that extension and I'm not paying it until I absolutely have to.
You are hilarious. You kill me. All right, that's fine. You do that protest. That makes you feel
That's
better.
me.
I get mine done. I don't want to deal with it. I'm like nagging my accountant in like January, and I'm like, "Are you done yet?"
Oh
And
my gosh.
but I've been with him since I was 16.
Nice.
So like he knows.
Yeah.
He knows.
Mine knows to file my extension immediately. He knows.
That's awesome. All right.
I know
Yes.
exactly how much I know exactly it's been ready. And I was like, no, man, you wait. Cause
Yeah.
No, that's not for everybody. Again, that's my protest. But that's not to say that like I'm avoiding all of it.
You can't. I mean, you
September,
can't
right?
avoid it. I mean,
Right.
because you don't want to get audited, because then that's just a whole nother. It's just more paperwork, and
Yeah.
it's just more
Yeah.
drama.
Yeah.
We want drama free.
Exactly. So, business taxes are different than personal taxes. Now, you've got different structures when you file for your business. You can be a sole proprietor if there's one owner. You can be a partnership or an LLC.
Yep.
And you can be a corporation. S corp for smaller.
Yes.
It's typically like we are an LLC. We're a multi-member LLC designated as an S corp. Now that for us is the most tax advantageous because anything that's due, the taxes flow down into our personal, basically.
Right.
So,
And I think there's a lot of back end stuff to it too. Like,
yeah.
if you want to just be a corporation or incorporated, you
Right.
know, like that's if you have members, if you plan on getting big enough to give part of the company, you know,
Yeah,
stocks away,
shares, yeah.
stocks and shares.
Yeah.
So I feel like you have to decide what's best for you and
Mhm.
where, like, what the big picture is for your
Right.
company. You
And
know what
you
I
might-
mean?
change.
So,
You may
I
be
think
an
you
LLC
can.
now
Yeah.
and then move into an incorporation later. There's holding companies now where you can be incorporated and they own your LLCs underneath you. So there's lots of ways to structure that. We're giving you just kind of like the brief overview here. So
yes. A lawyer is great for this. Any sort of business lawyer, they can walk you through this, and usually your CPA will know one that they work with. You know, it's a big circle of communication. So if
yeah. So
I mean, if like 4
when
times.
you're
If
but when you're doing when you're starting your business, when you're thinking about these things, here's what I'm going to say too. This is even if you're renting your properties, because there has been multiple times where I've had friends come to me and say, I had this house that I owned, but then I rented it out and now I'm dealing with the tax implications of all of that. And I'm like, this is not what we do, guys.
It's one of those. It's because the bubble, and you see lots of influencers and all these people. They're flipping houses, they're renting them out, they own Airbnbs or whatever. These, and they don't ever go into the back end of it.
Right.
What we're doing, we're trying to give people the back end of it. They don't go into. They just see the pretty picture of, oh my gosh, look, I'm in Bora Bora right now for 3 months. I'm living here, working remotely. You know, and it's like that's great
till that Airbnb income hits,
exactly,
and you get that tax bill because you were not planning.
Yeah, because you didn't realize that
you weren't expensing,
capital gains.
Tracking, exactly, you were putting it in your personal account. Oh my gosh, the horror stories though.
Yes. Oh yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Then you have to think of capital gains tax and all of that.
All the good stuff. So
when you're planning, when you're setting up, think about your goals, where you're going to be. Make sure you are setting up the right business structure for your situation. 100%. If you're married and you're doing it jointly, of course, you're going to have I would think of 50-50, but that would be basically you can do it however you want.
Yes.
As long as you're getting a piece of it. If you're contributing, essentially.
Yeah.
I mean, that's more for
even
us
if you're not.
personally.
Yeah, even if you're not. We went through this in another episode,
For
know, like there's many facets to contributing. So
for sure.
Anyway, let's do this.
Yeah.
Yep. All right, let's keep going.
Maximize your deductions. So make sure you're expensing everything that you can.
Yeah.
Everything that you can. I will say that my CPA advised us and said that home-based office and expensing that is one of the big kind of flags.
Yes.
To get audited.
I do not.
I do not.
Yeah. Only because it's really tricky. And then there's a lot. I feel like every CPA that just
scared me to death. It's trash day.
Apparently. And so, it's one of those things I would, again, talk to your CPA if your office is at home.
Yeah. Another little business tip too is you can set up different retirement accounts that will reduce your
for sure.
Yep. Your
through the business personally, you can do. There's a couple different options. Financial planners are great for that.
Yeah, we have a wealth advisor that works with us, and right now we've got a simple IRA.
I love how they all have different names. Right? Yours is a wealth advisor. Mine's a financial planner.
Right. Yeah, simple IRA that as owners we're able to contribute, but then we've also got. I think I've got a Roth as well. Those all help minimize your tax burden.
Yep,
for sure.
Sure do.
Health insurance premiums. That's when you get a little bit bigger. I mean, you need to be careful with health insurance. I can speak from experience now. You need to at least keep a catastrophic coverage on yourself. So even if that's, a $10,000 or $20,000 deductible, $20,000 is less than I can tell you my bills were $500,000.
It's
maybe
insane.
More.
That's literally insanity.
For what I went through.
Yeah that's insane.
So,
holy moly.
You can bankrupt yourself. Fun fact though, any medical bill less than $500 does not go on your credit if it's unpaid.
And I think after 5 years, if not collected, it goes off of your credit report as well, at least in the state of Florida.
Yeah. So that's super
Florida's
nice.
weird about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't mind it. But that's a little fun fact about credit and medical bills that we're talking about here.
All right. Yep.
But yes, so those health insurance premiums, those are, again, a tax minimizer.
Okay.
Let's see. Additional tips. Again, you
Yeah.
need to be thinking about your taxes. I don't want to say all year long, but
All
you
year
need to
long.
be
Yes, all year
cognizant of
long.
them
Quarter, do
quarterly.
it just quarterly.
Yeah,
Okay. Yes.
quarterly.
Sorry, I cut you off.
You're
Yeah. If you're not
fine.
thinking about it all year long, then you definitely need to be thinking about it at least quarterly.
Yes.
So, you know what I mean? Yeah.
A good rule of thumb too is if you're not payrolling yourself, because that's how we're set up now.
Yeah.
We payroll ourselves. We get a check and a direct deposit just like every other employee
Yeah,
here.
for sure.
We pay personal income tax on that
Yeah.
twice a month.
Yep.
So we're doing that. But if you're not doing that yet, let's just say you don't have that set up.
Yeah.
You don't have that kind of cash flow at the moment. That's cool. You need to be keeping at least, I think the advisement is 25 to 30% of your sales in a savings account so that you're ready for tax time.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
if that's $100,000 that you
that
made,
covers that just covers you. You know
right.
what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's just so you don't get that big surprise, because I cannot tell you again how many people I know who get to tax time and they're getting huge tax bills
Yeah.
that they're
Yes.
unprepared for. I can actually speak on that.
Yeah, I can too. We all learn the hard way,
Ooh, boy,
unfortunately.
that was like,
Because no one, like, again, my CPA was like, oh, well, just keep an eye on things. And I was like, okay, sure.
okay,
And
sure.
then you don't think about it. But then when you're pulling in,
6 figures.
yeah, 7 figures.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
for the year, and then you're thinking like, well, cash flow is fine, but it's not like you're putting tons of money in the bank. It's
Right.
enough to,
Right.
make payroll, make payments on
Yeah.
the equipment.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden,
Hi,
Uncle Sam's
we
there and
need
they're like, hey,
$30,000.
try 96,000.
Oh my God.
Yeah, exactly. So it's one of those, you're just kind of like, I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm like, what was that?
Huh?
I'm just like, I only planned for about half of that.
Right.
So I'm like, where'd your number come
Yeah,
from?
what
Because
is
my
this?
number's way different than your number.
Oh my God.
So
I actually kind of panicked because
I remember you panicking. You like hit me up and you're just like, I don't know. You're like, I fucked up. And I'm just like, what happened? I was like, did you buy another dog?
No. Or horse.
Oh my gosh. At least I know when the next time you send that to me, I'll know what it's for. It won't just be like, I won't be blindsided.
It was Shelby Lofton LLC, and it was the year that I had the big sales.
Yeah.
And I didn't.
That's hard though, because I feel like that tax number is probably different than
it is.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't know how much you should put away.
Right.
50% just to cover your ass.
Well, luckily I have a magician of a CPA, but that's what I told him. I go, I wasn't W-2ing myself out of that. Yeah. So end of the year comes and I'm like, I fucked up. Sorry guys, cuss word, but
me too.
I'm
sorry.
That was
just
a
this
big
episode
one.
today.
So much anxiety. I didn't even want to think about it, but I finally faced it with my CPA and I was like, this is what I did. Just tell me how bad it's going to be. And he was like, you're fine. It's okay.
You're like, don't sugarcoat this.
No, he's really great. And it really was not anything that was like,
okay,
surprising,
good.
Thank God. Because I did. But what my saving grace is the fact that I had kept track in my little free accounting and I had expensed what I could. And so it only added yes.
Perfect.
It added quite a bit of income to our personal income tax, but it wasn't, again, we had taken care of it another way. So that's like when you've got multiple LLCs going and flowing to your personal.
Yeah.
There are ways to mitigate tax. Like, let's talk about it. I also owned a trolley company.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
The trolley company.
Oh my gosh,
year.
That's right.
Yeah, unfortunately, we really got going, but my partner bailed. Lover, we made up since then. But that was a net loss, which at the time was very hard for me to take because I sold Bruce my Camaro to get that started.
Yeah.
Because my husband was not on board.
We all gave up our Camaros to start our businesses.
Yeah. Yeah. So it was really hard. I think it was overall like a net loss of $8,000, which sucks at the time, and I didn't want to give it up because we were finally like making sales and getting with the communities and doing all of these events. And so I knew we were going to be profitable and it was going to be a sustainable business, but had to bail out of that. The silver lining to all of it, that just minimized our tax burden.
Yeah, it was meant to happen.
Learned a lot of lessons in that one too.
Yeah, for sure. Like always, every business we've created or closed or sold or you learn something in all of it. So
yeah, that was fun though. So death and taxes. Wow, sorry, we went long.
We went way too long. Sorry guys, death and taxes. All right.
Yeah.
As always, beyond tradition.
Yes.
Thanks for listening. Like, subscribe.
Yes.
Hit all the buttons. We're on everything. All the platforms. So
get your CPA, get your attorney, get you a wealth advisor early on in the process.
Yeah, early on. Even if you think, oh man, this isn't for me yet, just do it. It just gives you a little insight of what's coming down the pipeline.
Yep.
So
awesome.
All right. See you next time.
Bye.
Bye.